Sports.
We are the Force. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
There's not a lot of positives from today's game. It was an old-fashioned butt whipping, and I'd much rather be on the other side than on the side that we were on today.
It's one loss. So grab a beer, wrap it around your lips, and we'll come back tomorrow and see if we can play. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
There you go. That's what I'm going to do. Watch football and forget about this one and go home, and I hope they do too. And I hope they don't grab too many beers around their lips, but let's get this thing out. It's out. It's over with. We got killed today. Bingo bango.
It's part of what makes baseball special. Because the sport is so taxing, the chance to forget and move on as a near everyday experience. The Tigers have put Saturday's loss in their rearview mirror. Now they focus on winning the weekend series here in Cleveland against the Indians on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everybody. Alongside former National League MVP Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. It's a third straight division title for Terry Francona and the Indians. It's been a nice run for them. What's impressed you most about their run?
Well, I mean, the consistency of what they've done is incredible, and they're in a good spot because everybody else is rebuilding within the division. So they've kept pace, and Tito is doing a good job of getting ready for getting his team ready for the playoffs. We saw that, but the comments that I heard from McCann and Gardy, butt kicked, one loss, we got killed. That's all true. But one thing that I took out of yesterday is there's people that are having an impression put upon them right now on the Tigers team. And I wanted to see who's running on the field after they're down 11, 15, nothing, and who stayed out to watch that celebration. There's some very important things going on today. And they do need to erase that memory yesterday, and they need to vision themselves of being the team doing the celebrating real soon.
You know what we love about baseball? It is a constant learning lesson. What is Christian Stewart teaching us so far in his early days?
Yeah, he's got 20 at-bats. He's played roughly a week. And, what do we see? We've heard a lot about it. The kid's getting an education. That's what we've seen. You see a kid that's working very hard. We'll get a little look at his defense. We heard it wasn't that good. Well, it's at least average or better. And his arm's a little better than we thought as well. Runs hard on the bases. You see 3 steps in a peak. So he's bringing up what he learned down there. And now going the other way at bat, not pulling as much. He did get schooled. Cody Allen gave him a real good at bat yesterday. Lots of curveballs we're seeing as well. And he's got to make the adjustments. He is. Look at down and in, high fastball. Now he's going to do the old top to bottom, and he got schooled right there. But overall, I think he busts it. I think it's a real important time for him and Gardy to strike up a relationship, the team as well, because he's got to relate to these guys in this team if they plan on him being a big part of this Tiger team next year. And so far, so good, and he's got another couple weeks of the season to learn some more.
Stewart has reached base in all 5 games he's started. He's hit safely in 4 of the 6 games in which he's played today. He will play behind Francisco Liriano. Last time out, had 7 Ks, but has yet to beat the Indians this year. We talk more about Liriano with Mickey York in the Coliseum studio when we come back on Fox Sports Detroit right after this. Expectations of what a bank can be come to Comerica by the Chrysler Pacifica and by Meridian Care Medicare Advantage plans. Oh, it was busy downtown Cleveland last night celebrating a championship. Hardly a cloud in the sky on this Sunday afternoon. 81 degrees, less humid than yesterday. Still a little breezy, but excited for Game 3 of this weekend series wrap-up between the Tigers and the Indians. Here's the Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jamer Candelario will lead off. He's 2 for 8 in the series and does have a home run in this set. Dewalt Lugo remains at second base, just 1 for 7 against the Tribe. But Victor Reyes at the bottom of the order, 9 games in September, batting .476 with a couple of doubles too. All right, today's starting pitcher is Shane Bieber, presented by MGM Grand Detroit. He's a rookie, Kirk Gibson, but doesn't pitch like one.
Yeah, pretty good 10-3 record you see right there. Fastball, slider, curveball, does have a change. Most impressive pitch is his slider.
Right back up the middle, Jamer Candelario greets him and everybody in this ballpark with a first pitch single.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense. Left field, Raji Davis, Greg Allen in center, Brandon Barnes in right, Donaldson, Gonzalez, Rosales, and Diaz on the infield, Eric Haas. Catching Shane Bieber. You want to say Justin, by the way.
I know you do, but let's avoid that today. This guy can throw.
No, he can. He throws the ball very well.
He's also 4-0 against the Central this year in 7 starts.
The Tribe is well documented. They do well against the Central Division. That's one of the things they're worried about. We discussed that a little bit yesterday. But he's another guy. He's got a little bit of size to him. He's got a little bit of height. Good angle on his pitches. Doesn't walk many hitters.
No, he's only got 19 walks in 98 innings pitched this year. So that's an outstanding ratio. Of course, Cleveland, their staff doesn't walk many. They're #1 in the American League in fewest walks allowed. Kristen Stewart hammers it to left. Rajai Davis in the corner and off the wall. Candelario makes a strong turn at second and then hustles back. That one carried.
Yeah, it did. He's got some sock. We know that. He's feeling more comfortable at the plate. And Candelario, a good play as he's rounding second base. Davis has the ball in his hand and takes a wide turn trying to bait him to throw behind him. If he does, he just goes to third. Raji didn't bite. He had to go back and return. You can see Candy thinks he's going to catch it, then he realized he didn't. I like when you pressure the defenders to make a throw. Read it on the target to third, so you retreat.
So would you call that good base running on the part of Jamer Candelario?
Yeah, I like that.
Nick Castellanos stands in, takes the first pitch strike.
Now we could see he was way around second base. So sometimes you'll catch an outfielder throwing behind you. So if he throws behind, you just jog to third. So again, it's just pressure. Like I said, you just don't want to let the guy have all the time that he wants. You want him to have less time than he would want.
Candelario on second, Stewart on first for Castellanos, who leads this team with 81 runs driven in. But he is one of just 2 players to face Shane Bieber in their careers. Castellanos 1 for 3 against Bieber. Candelario was the other. He's now 1 for 4 against him. The opposite way, drifting in the corner and foul. I like the way Detroit is using the middle part of the field and the opposite part. Castellanos has gone that way. Stewart went the opposite way.
Yeah, that right there, that's a slider on the outside part of the plate. He just went with the pitch, not trying to roll it over. You know Bieber's looking for a double play. Want to stay out of that situation if you can.
Mark Wegner is the crew chief. Andy Fletcher calls him balls and strikes today. One and 2 to Castellanos. 2 for 5 in the series. But this year against Cleveland, just 194 batting average with a homer and 6 RBIs. A chance to put Detroit on the board early. A tapper wide of first. Diaz goes to second. Did they get him? They did. I'm going to say it was in the glove of Eric Gonzalez long enough.
This is a pretty good pitch by Bieber. Not a lot that Nick could do with it. Got a piece of it. Got out of the box and stopped the double play. The previous pitch he hit down in the right field corner, a little bit more of a hanger, but couldn't get that one to go fair. The Tigers now first and third, 1 out. They'll leave it to Jim Adduci.
Adduci 1 for 6 in the series.
You want to have a good at bat here. You don't want to hit a ball first pitch on the ground. You got to get something you can hit in the air in the gaps.
Fly ball to center. Greg Allen fighting the sun. Davis comes over, makes the catch. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Jim Adduci, and the Tigers are off to a better start than they were yesterday. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. So Adduci gets the RBI, his 17th of the year, and here's Mikey Matuk. Pulled the string out of 0-1.
Yeah, good breaking ball. Tigers come out swinging early in the count. Cleveland identifying that and going with some secondary pitches early on.
Good backhand stab by Eric Haas makes it 1-1.
Cleveland a little quiet today after last night clinching again. They started out slow, but they got into the locker room and picked it up a little bit. Celebration. It's always a dilemma. Do you want to celebrate or don't you?
Well, that's a good question, because I believe when you play this long, even if you've done it now 3 times in a row, that you celebrate. They were in first place since April 21st. Had a double-digit lead in the division since August 8th. Even though it was a foregone conclusion, you've accomplished something, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's something you want to affirm and imprint. It's a good feeling. So that's why they've earned it. I don't think they go as nuts as they used to early on rounds, but because you got games to play, you don't want to lose that momentum.
2-2 now to Mikey Matuk. And then there's the thought of watching that celebration if you're an opponent.
Well, the one year in '81 we had Sparky. He made us sit on the bench and watch. He thought that was the best for us.
Tapper back to Bieber. Gathers himself, but the Tigers do score 1 on a couple of hits in the first. first. Francisco Liriano hoping to take advantage of it. Liriano is the Tigers starter on this Sunday afternoon, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, you can see Liriano is 4-10. He's not had the success that he had hoped to have this year. The Tigers overall looking for somewhere in the 60, maybe 70 wins. And he did throw a lot of strikes his last outing. That was encouraging.
Here's the Indians batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Rajay Davis, the second active leading player in steals. Brandon Barnes hitting .310 against lefties, and Josh Donaldson batting third. He's went 2 for 4 in his home debut the other night with a homer. Davis with a couple of at-bats in the series so far, and he's 0 for 2.
You want to keep him off the bases.
He will put pressure on you, won't he?
Yeah, he's very good at stealing, even if you know he's going.
Ripped it foul. Loved when he was a part of the Tigers. Brought so much energy to that clubhouse, and I think to the field as well. And I know they really like him here in Cleveland too. One batter, one strikeout for Francisco Liriano.
McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers starting defense. Left to right, Christian Stewart, Victor Reyes, Mikey Matuk, Candy and Aducey on the corners. Ronnie Rodriguez at short, with Lugo at second base. Grayson Griner behind the dish today, catching Francisco Liriano.
Greg Allen, who patrols center field, takes a first pitch strike. 1 for 1 in the series so far.
Yes.
Terry Francona going with a much different lineup than he has most of the year. Really, the only regular in there would be Josh Donaldson, and he has not been here very long, obviously, but you figure he'll be patrolling third base on a regular basis by the time the playoffs begin.
Well, Terry Francona's got some decisions to make. Greg Allen still wants to be on that playoff roster and wants to play. With the addition of Donaldson, it appears that he's out of center field because they've moved Kipnis out there. But a lot can change in 2 weeks. Somebody could get hurt. This guy could get hot. He's got some wheels in there. He's got a double. He tucks inside of first base. Will he go for 3?
Good speed. A stand-up double for Greg Allen. We talked about keeping Davis off the base paths. This guy's just as dangerous.
And he's got 15 steals as well. He just ball on the outside part of the plate. He just lets it get deep on him and just puts the barrel on him. Take a look at first baseman Aducey. No way you can get that.
So with 1 out, some pressure by the Indians.
Gotta watch him. He will take third on you.
Donaldson takes a strike.
Gonna have to stop. Liriano's gonna have to make sure he holds him. Inside move here or there. Got to deter these guys with wheels not to go.
Donaldson with a big fly in the series opener right after Edwin Encarnacion had hit a homer. Detroit was up 2-0 in that Friday night game, and then Encarnacion and Donaldson went back-to-back for the first time in their careers. Remember, they spent some time together in Toronto and hit back-to-back in that lineup.
They were in their prime then.
In tight 1-1 to Donaldson. What do you like about the acquisition he brings to Cleveland's lineup?
Well, obviously he's a big player. He's got he's a Gold Glove. He's got major power. Was he the MVP a couple of years ago?
2015. Yeah.
I mean, he's got great credentials. The question is he healthy? Can he get back to that form?
Loves playing here. Pulled the string on him. 1-2. Speaking of Josh Donaldson, he's Chevrolet's most dependable player. Those were his gaudy numbers when he won the MVP in 2015 with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think he still has the ability. He has been hurt. He's had a calf problem for some time. That's what the turf does to you, I think.
Strikes out in a big moment there. 2 down.
Good job by Liriano. That turf is so soft that it messes with people's legs up. But he's on the grass.
Okay, but you don't want it. You said it's so soft. You don't want it to be super hard like it was at the vet in Philadelphia.
Well, like spongy soft. So when you would run on regular grass, it's soft. But when you see a very good pitch by Liriano there. When you're on that turf, it's hard to explain what it does when you run. When your foot hits that turf, it just like stretches you a little further than normal. And there are seams you got to deal with. Turf is much tougher on your legs than grass. Grass is the best surface.
And your knees too, right? It's really tougher on every part of your body. I mean, we saw Jacoby Jones last night dive for a bloop single in center field. If that's on turf, his shoulder's even more injured than maybe it feels today. Diaz right back up the box and a base hit, and we're tied.
That's killer. You get the first, get 2 outs, and you gotta get out of this inning. Unable to do so. Tried to get that ball down and in on him, didn't quite get it there. Up the middle. Good secondary lead there by Greg Allen. Scores easily.
Yandy Diaz coming into the game batting just .206 against lefties. And yet he delivers there. And we're even at 1. Geyer ropes one to left for another base hit. The third of the inning for the Tribe. And they're not done yet despite 2 down.
Where the Tigers yesterday were unable to stop the Tribe. They got a hit and another one. The Tigers misplayed a couple balls. Francisco's got to make a good pitch here, and everybody's got to get tuned in, take care of it if it comes to you.
Brings up Brandon Barnes, who's playing right field on this sunny Sunday afternoon. You had mentioned this Cleveland offense. They are top 5 in homers, RBIs, hits, runs, and average. Slugging percentage and on-base percentage as well. But I was talking with a friend of mine last night, and while giving him those numbers, he wondered, how much of that is due to the fact that they have played 65 games against the AL Central. I said, you still have to do it. Chopper up the middle. Lugo's got to hurry. Great transformation from glove to hand to squash the Indians rally. But they do score 1, and we're tied at 1.
put pressure on there, and a nice little play that cuts this inning off. Dawel Lugo, look at him here, comes up, good exchange, took his time and made a good throw. Now he struggled a little bit. That's why we're showing this. This is a good job of cutting in there and taking care of that ball. A couple games, well, 2 days ago, he bobbled that, and then the inning went on. So, you know, you got to get that confidence back. Got to learn how to make that play, and he does.
Still learning that footwork at second base. You and I have witnessed Ramon Santiago and Ron Gardenhire out there working with him constantly on
daily
that footwork, yeah, and the transformation from glove to hand at second base. It is different, and an accurate throw for Jim Adduci as well. And that was important.
Well, here's what happens. Every level you go up, the game's a little faster, right? So when you hit a ball, the defense is going to be that much quicker. They're going to take care of more balls. And when you're on defense, the runners are quicker. They get out of the box better. So it is a little bit of a panicky situation at times. And he's been dealing with that, but good job there. Something's got to go on in your mind that says take your time. Something's, you know, I mean, you've got to find a way to calm that down so you can make the play with your abilities, and he's got plenty of it.
Even on a play like that, when you know you have to hurry.
That's what I'm saying. You got to hurry, but you have to hurry, but there's an art to, like, just taking the right amount of time, not panicking. If you feel that internal clock rush, then you rush and you flip the ball instead of transfer it. Griner goes down and took a strike 3 here.
Letting the game come to you is a good way of describing it. I know you told me the other day. Tigers host the Kansas City Royals on Saturday, September 22nd at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a 1968 themed Detroit Tigers Hawaiian shirt courtesy of Visit Central Florida. For tickets, go to tigers.com. It's been a special celebration of that '68 championship squad all season long. Continue to reflect back on just how special that team was for the rest of this season, especially in the homestand. Final homestand coming up with Minnesota and Kansas City coming to town.
Not many that team, you know, they getting older, and some of them are got to pay our respects to them along the way. So it's important that we do so appropriately before it's too late.
Well, that's why it's so enjoyable to see guys like Al Kaline and Willie Horton on a regular basis at the ballpark. 1-1 pitch to Dawel Lugo.
And next year it'll be the anniversary as well, won't it? 84. 30, was that 35 years?
35 years, yeah. Listen, I don't think there has to be a special year. I think it's every year. I have no problem looking back.
Well, they tend to do it in certain increments.
Yeah. 35 is appropriate since you started 35 and 5.
Yeah, that's good.
Doesn't add up to 9, but
yes, it does.
Lugo with a ground ball, hit the bag. Hustling out of the box, and just in time does beat Bieber. That's a pretty good play by Bieber to follow the ball, but Lugo able to beat him to the base.
Yandy Diaz did not go back to the bag. You're right, Bieber did. This is a good break right here. Well, off the bag, you didn't see the pitcher. Actually, Diaz, because he was going to field the ball initially, really couldn't get back. Look at it, hits the bag right there. It's a great break. And he's on with the single.
Just his second hit of his career against Cleveland. And here's Ronnie Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to snap out of an 0-for-8 slump. He joined us in the first inning on headset in the Tigers dugout yesterday.
Yeah, he
surprisingly enough. Yeah, it was. We were hoping to talk with Matthew Boyd during the broadcast at one point, so Ronnie Rodriguez saw the headset sitting there and just decided to pop it on and chat away a little bit. Slice to second. Nice diving play by Rosales, and they get the lead runner.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Coming to the big leagues, so that's usually a hit there, right?
You would think.
Not this league. Good play by Rosales. lays out. And the thing they're really good at here in the big leagues, watch him throw. Takes his time, makes a sidearm throw.
And again, the accuracy right there.
And Gonzalez smartly eats it because he's got no chance to get Ronnie.
Good play by the former Western Michigan Bronco, Adam Rosales. Here's Victor Reyes, manning center field today.
By the way, they did end up to 9. You said 35 and 5, right?
Yeah, that's 40.
40 minus 4. It's 36. 3 plus 6 is 9.
There goes the runner. The ball skipped up there. Ronnie Rodriguez with his second stolen base of the year.
Like it, Gardy. Coming out, going to be aggressive today. First pitch on the move. Nice look at those jumps right there. Catcher can't handle it.
Here's the other thing he did that I thought was really important. Did not look back. Teams you played on so fundamentally sound made sure they didn't do that. Here's a grounder to short. Gonzalez will squash the Tigers' rally, but stay tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Yasiel Puig did something yesterday he'd never done before in his career. We're going to show you what and update the NL playoff picture. Bottom of the second, Francisco Liriano tries to hold this game to a 1-1 tie. He'll face Eric Haas, Eric Gonzalez, and Adam Rosales.
Victor getting another day off there.
Yesterday may have seemed like a day off because he only had the one at bat. Ron Gardenhire told me earlier today. Victor said, look, it's time 10, 11, nothing. I'm good. If you want to get somebody else in there, and that's what they did.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I've been in my. I don't really want to finish my career out here in Cleveland playing one of those games.
Right.
Yeah, you get somebody some at bats.
The 1-2 pitch in tight 2-2. Liriano trying to command the inner part of that plate.
Yeah, he's moved several of the Indians way off. Came way in at Josh Donaldson. You want to miss. You want to miss way in.
Haas with just his third at bat of his Cleveland season, and he strikes out swinging. That's the third strikeout already for Francisco Liriano. Time now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Yesterday in St. Louis, Yasiel Puig set career highs with 3 homers and 7 RBIs to help the Dodgers to their 4th straight victory, 17-4. They're now leading the NL West by a half game. Puig has 5 homers in the last 2 games. He's also the 4th Dodger since 2000 with consecutive multi-homer games. Cody Bellinger, Adrian Beltre, and Sean Green are the others. Here's the NL West race. The Dodgers leapfrog the Rockies.
Colorado is just on top. But like you say, the Dodgers won 4. Rockies lost a couple.
Best team in that division is LA when healthy, don't you think?
Well, when healthy, but does that mean everybody else is healthy?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say they probably are expected to win.
Poke to second. Good range for Lugo. 2 down. We're going back to college with Nissan. The number 9 hitter in the Cleveland lineup today is Adam Rosales. And if you follow college baseball in the great state of Michigan, you've heard of Adam Rosales, even though he's 34 years old. He did start at Western Michigan as a 2-time first-team All-Mid-American Conference selection.
Bronco.
He's a Bronco.
Plays the game the right way. Really a hustler.
Yeah, played with a lot of teams. First pitch swinging. Lariano. Very good, very quick second inning. Tied at 1. 9-pitch frame for the Tigers starter there. That attempted bunt, then a home run by Lindor, a home run by Brantley, and the Indians were off and running, but Michael Fulmer was out of the game. Now, he spoke to you and I before the game today, Gibby, because yesterday he left and he was disappointed, upset. He wanted to finish the inning. Ron Gardenhire was not going to take any chances. James McCann told us, look, I knew something was wrong as soon as that second pitch was delivered, and that's why he called Doug Teeter out and Ron Gardenhire out, and he just didn't want to mess with Michael Fulmer's long-term availability. Now, what do you figure? Maybe 2 more starts for Fulmer the rest of the year. I doubt he'll make either of those. It doesn't make a lot of sense to. He told me he would like to, but his knee buckled a little bit, and that was a problem for him, and that's why he couldn't get the drive off that right leg.
Well, it grabbed him. You look in the film, we missed it, but McCann would be the guy to see it because he's looking straight out there. When he told Gardy, you've got to make a decision. If you were going into the 7th game of the World Series, you might do it for 1 game or for 4 innings. But why do it now? I think is the attitude, because you are going to favor it. It's his push-off leg. So if you can't push off, and we were showing this knee has been bothering him for a while. We showed him into this changeup, and a couple of years ago he was well over that front side. Okay, he was really pushing off, I felt, and he's not doing that this year. So that makes it worse. You alter your motion, you can hurt your elbow, you can hurt your shoulder. I don't think it makes any sense. They were going to go to a 6-man rotation anyway.
Right.
So they have the pitchers in place for a 5-man, and Fulmer out of the rotation, and Candy goes down.
Well, Gibby, he was frustrated too because, let's face it, it has been a very difficult season for him. It's weighed on him, and he really worked hard to come back from the oblique injury and thought he was progressing much faster than anybody thought he could. So I think he was really looking forward to trying finishing strong.
I agree, but he didn't have the results he wanted to, but he is healthy until he did the knee. The arm part is healthy, but in the oblique, that he got over that. But it's tough. One of the tricky things about playing professional baseball is to learn how to stay healthy. I had to do it. Everybody does, because you're playing at such a high level. It's so quick and so fast. It's putting a lot of strain on your body and your joints and your muscles and your tendons.
Well, how long did it take you to learn? How many years?
Well, I mean, I got hurt in, I believe, it was 80-81. Had to have surgery on my wrist. I pulled an oblique. I sprained an ankle. I broke a finger. That's why I was diving in first base going back. I broke a finger. It's not fun trying to hit a baseball with a broken finger. So you just got to learn it. You got to learn to scale it back at times so you don't injure yourself, so you can play on a daily basis.
2 quick outs for the Tigers here in the third. Discussing the future of this Tigers rotation will be a topic throughout the offseason. Matthew Boyd has established himself nicely. You hope Daniel Norris can be healthier in 2019 than he was in 2018. You have Michael Fulmer. And then a question mark. Yes?
I think Fulmer is going to be back. He's
No, I meant the question mark for starter number 4 within that rotation.
Yeah, you've got Zimmerman, Fulmer, and Boyd for sure. And beyond that, I think it's pretty much open. I think Daniel Norris has his stuff.
You're right. Zimmerman would be 4, and then number 5 would be, there's plenty of candidates who would vie for that, including one we saw the other day, and we'll see the rest of the year, Spencer Turnbull.
Yeah, they're looking for somebody to come out and wow them in spring training. But in general, if you're a young guy, nowadays it seems like they kind of give you a couple weeks of seasoning in the minors for dual reasons.
Sure.
They want to control your free agency, your arbitration, your Super 2 status.
Big strikeout for
Big breaking ball.
Bieber. He's got a couple of strikeouts in this frame, 3 in the game overall. They gave you the particulars in Tigers Live pregame. We reveal who the player is in our prospect spotlight right after the break. who signed a 16-year-old playing in high A ball for the Tigers this year. First pitch from Rajay Davis, grounded to short. Ronnie Rodriguez throws him out, and he's got some pretty good stuff, especially that fastball that was already in the low to mid 90s.
Yeah, high A is Lakeland, Florida. He had some strikeouts in the minors, 23 starts, and got by the Tommy John surgery back in 2015, ticking up. You know, the goal, you get a player who is improving, is to get them to take a giant step at some point in their career, and they're hoping that that's the case.
Added a couple of miles per hour to his fastball, and you would expect that to continue as he gets older.
You hope so. Trying to figure out what makes guys throw hard all of a sudden. You know, you try and project frame, mechanics, maturity,
leg drive. So for the strength
sometimes it just goes from one to another, and it's a surprise. They haven't totally figured it out, but they know some of what makes it possible. So their workout regimes are very strict, very disciplined. Ariana wanted that pitch.
So did Grayson Griner. Instead, it's 3-1 to Greg Allen, who doubled and scored in the first.
Andy Fletcher says nope.
Sliced foul, and it's full. It's the fourth start of the year for Liriano against Cleveland, fifth appearance. He's 0-2 with an ERA just under 5 coming in. To second, Lugo's positioned perfectly.
Well, let's take a look at Castro and his delivery. You can see he's got kind of a loose arm. Starting to fill out.
What do you mean by that? What's a loose arm?
Well, just his motion. He's got kind of a whippy action right there. He kind of drops, drives. The arm comes through really quick. Very deceiving when you can have a fast arm like that, especially if you change up your off-speed pitches. Fastball sneaky, has good finish.
Don't confuse him with Willie Castro. No relationship.
Shortstop.
Shortstop, who Detroit acquired in the Leonis Martin deal to this Cleveland club.
He looks good as well. Saw him play.
What was your early impression of him?
Yeah, good. Good teammate too. I've observed him in the clubhouse. Thought he.
You do that, don't you? You don't just look at on the field and what they do in the batter's box. You see different situations. You like to view how a guy handles himself in the clubhouse.
Well, I just want to see what his makeup is. You know, how do you figure out what the makeup is? Many players come from different parts of the country. Some of them are from another country, so you know you have to make an added effort to try and understand what their foundation and basis is, and find out how you can communicate with them and to have to talk.
How they adapt to different scenarios. 2-2 to Josh Donaldson, who struck out in the first.
You know, you go through things like what they're supposed to know. If they don't know, why don't they know? Or have they been taught, or are they confused with the concept? You owe that to them.
Donaldson goes down swinging. Second time he's K'd, and it's the fourth strikeout of the afternoon for Francisco Liriano. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell. RBI. He stands in to start the fourth against Shane Bieber, who's averaged almost 15 pitches per inning. Francisco Liriano has averaged about 13. So both pitchers working quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, Bieber was not in rhythm in the first inning. Tigers had a chance for more, only got one run. He seems to be throwing the ball much better. The breaking ball and slider much sharper. And he's got the Tigers a little bit off balance here as we go to the top of the fourth.
Bieber also working ahead in the count. 10 of his 13 first pitches have been for strikes. 1-2 to Jim Adduci.
Good breaking ball.
Adduci's sacrifice fly in the first, just his second RBI of his career against Cleveland. Two and two.
Here's the previous pitch. Look at this breaking ball. It's great motion. Just good mechanics. Follows, finishes it out front. He's getting good break on it. Fastball comes out of the same area.
To third, Donaldson. And there's one quick out to the Call Sam Studios in the game break with Mickey York.
Stepping in now, for the Tigers, number 8, Mikey Manfred.
Boy, oh boy. DeGrom has some incredible numbers. Max Scherzer. I do wonder, Mickey, on whether or not it has to be from a winning team, and if that's the case, then it should only be Aaron Nola. It's been proven that you don't necessarily have that. I would say DeGrom has been the most dominant, but the less fortunate pitcher in the National League, and maybe all of baseball.
I think he's getting wore down a little bit. Tell you a guy, if he didn't get hurt, it was Trevor Bauer here. If he didn't get hurt, Bauer has finished strong. He would have been in the running as well.
Yeah, I don't think Sale will win it, to Simo's point. Too many games missed. I think voters will look at that.
So you think Scherzer or DeGrom?
Well, I think DeGrom in the National League, especially since there's a lot of New Yorkers pumping those tires, but rightfully so, because his numbers are really impressive. But the American League is a different story. I think when you look at, when voters look at it, they try, and obviously they compare a lot of different numbers, and I think Blake Snell should be included in that, but Chris Sale has missed a lot. He's missed a lot because of injuries.
Yeah, let's go back. Look at this breaking ball. Look at it. Bow locks him. That looks like it's coming right at your shoulder. Mikey, you see it now with 2 strikes. You're going to have to sit on it and try and get a piece of it. It's just a natural reaction. If you think a fastball is going to smoke you in the shoulder, there's a break. Well, you're going to flinch and you're not going to be hanging in there. But you have to tell yourself, and after a while in the big leagues, you just know that it's possible that it may break down there for a strike.
Just outside. It's interesting because you brought up Trevor Bauer in the whole American League Cy Young conversation, and you said if he had started more games, he started one more game than Chris Sale. People want to give it to Chris Sale.
Yeah, but he's missed how many games? Yeah.
Matuk pops it up. This is fouled back. You know, Sale's got 24 starts. Justin Verlander has 31. Garrett Cole has 30. Luis Severino has 30, for example. And Sale's been really impressive. Look at those numbers. But again,
Blake Snell.
Yeah, Blake Snell should be the guy who gets the call, as far as I'm concerned.
You going by record? Because many think the record is not.
Well, look at his WHIP and look at his ERA.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
There are some with better. You think it, if you say it doesn't matter whether it's a winning team or not, or whether they get the wins.
Well, he also leads the American League pitchers in WAR. I think that's important. Matuk in foul ground for Diaz. Made a tough catch to fight off the sun.
As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. That's what Gardy said, didn't he? Have a whole true moment last night after the butt kicking.
He did. Yeah. Get that out of your system.
You obliged, didn't you?
Absolutely. As did you.
I
As
went
did
something
our entire crew
vino.
did.
I went vino.
You did. That was an expensive bottle of wine, my friend.
You're busting me.
I don't do that. I don't.
You
do
just did on TV.
No, I was going to say I don't do the wine.
No, you don't. Or coffee.
No, I don't do coffee on it.
Amazing. 6 a.m. coffee. Boy.
Grayson Griner
Look at them breaking
swings and
balls.
misses. Griner struck out looking in the second. First start since September 11th against the Astros. Smoked up the middle and a base hit. 2-out single for Griner. Here's DeWalt Lugo.
Pretty good. He just gets a breaking ball before that. He gets the heater here and he stays right up the middle. Nicely struck. Hard hit. Got a 2-out single with the Tides.
Good short stroke there. Lugo singled back in the second.
Short stroke for kind of a lanky guy.
Yeah, big guy.
Sometimes harder for larger individuals to keep their mechanics together.
This one up the middle. Nice range by Gonzalez. That's a whale of a play to end the fourth. We've seen some really good defense this weekend. Eric Gonzalez made sure we didn't forget about him.
Happened in the last inning. Eric Gonzalez with a nice play right here. And well, Lugo, Tigers were trying to get a 2-out rally going, but good play, made it look easy. Good communication right there. You see Rosales going to the bag. Sometimes you see both guys going to the ball, and there's nobody at the bag, but that was well done. Made it look easy.
Keeps it 1-1 into the bottom of the fourth. Yandy Diaz, the first baseman. We've seen him at first and third so far in this series. This one down the right field line and into the corner. Matuk gives chase. Diaz with a leadoff double here in the fourth for Cleveland.
Down in the corner, this guy likes the first pitch. You're going to have to throw a better pitch. Mikey, a strong throw. Just looking there and watching who's backing up. He can clean that up a little bit. These are the times you can't just mail it in. You know, you really got to look at all the finer points of the game. I tend to look away. That ball gets away from Ronnie, who's behind him, right? You got to be right there. Can't be an afterthought. Got to be a proactive.
Who should be behind?
That would have been Kristen Stewart. He was in the area, but he got a little late start. But I know these are the types of things we've talked about it. You've been in there about Woodgardy. These are the things he wants to be first nature with this club as he moves beyond where they started this year.
Brandon Geyer singled his first time up, lifts one to deep left, but that's going to be foul. Now, why wouldn't Candelario be the guy to back up Ronnie Rodriguez and then Liriano cover third in case one got by the shortstop?
Well, it's a read ball. You go from the angle. If you go from the angle, the right field corner to second, and it sailed up in towards left field. He's got to stay at third base, but if the guy keeps going, it has to be relayed. So, I mean, just the way you read it, the telestrator's out, or I would show you. That ball, if it got away, would have went more towards left field. So it's just a natural. And that's a good question, though, because you kind of set up relay plays in the mechanics of them. But you remember the one playoff where Jeter came all the way from shortstop down to, you always have to have your head on a swivel, as Alan Trammell says. Be ready to make an adjustment. We got a leadoff double and now a walk.
Some pressure on Francisco Liriano here in the fourth with Brandon Barnes coming up.
Would he bunt?
I think it's too early to do that.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be put on, but good surprise. You get for Barnes, you get a sack.
What's your philosophy on that? I'm not a big guy who believes that, oh, you got to bunt guys over all the time. I know it's just the fourth, but overall, I mean, obviously there's a situation that calls for it.
Well, depends where you're at in the lineup, what kind of confidence you have, what the score is, what inning it is, who's in the game, what pitcher's in the game. Say it was Kluber. Get a run, maybe it's all you feel it's all you need.
Yeah.
So maybe you would bunt. Get him over, get him in.
Pretty important trip right there from Grayson Grinder to try and settle Liriano down a little bit. So this inning doesn't get away from him.
Exactly, leadoff double. And it gives up the walk. Now he's down 2 balls and no strikes.
Grounder foul of third. Grounder to third would be ideal in this situation. Barnes 0 for 2 in the series.
So just getting out of the run matrix, if you bunted here, the expected runs out of this with not bunting is 1.5. If you bunt, it goes down to 1.3. So the chance of scoring 1.3 runs, would you want to do that, or would you want to score 2/10 more of a run?
The latter.
That's why they don't do it, and that is clear data in the history of the game, and I don't know how I don't know how it was filtered. So if it's the last week, 2 weeks, 6 months, it's probably at least years, okay, or a year. They have a pretty good idea. And the odds don't lie.
Foul down the right field line. Yeah, the easy thing to do is automatically assume you should be bunting and give yourself up a little bit in a situation like this, when really what managers are hoping for is a big inning. with runners at first and second.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say. You have the chance of scoring 1 run.
Got it.
Multiple runs.
Inside corner.
Good job right there. Good pitch by Lariano. Comes back and gets him.
Here's the catcher, Eric Haas. Rip to left. Indians will take the lead.
Second.
Stewart will hustle it into third. And Cleveland has runners at second and third with 1 down.
You might have heard me say on the air, second base. You want to try and stop that runner at first. You keep that double play in order. Watch it. You can see it from top. You're not going to get the guy at home. You're not going to get the guy at third. You want to stop this guy here from scoring or from getting to second, because you'd have man on first. You still get a double play ball.
First Major League RBI of the year for Eric Haas. Tapped foul. Is that on Kristen Stewart, or is Ronnie Rodriguez partially to blame because he was lined up with third base for the left fielder? Why would he not be lined up for second base?
No, it's not. It's just the part of the learning process. That's not anybody's fault, really. It's just continuing to get the Tigers' way of what their philosophy is on that ball. And this is the way I was taught, so I may be out of school, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure and feel confident they would be consistent with that. Does it make sense? You throw the ball to second, you stop him from going to second, get a ground ball, you're out of the inning. We're trying to get this inning cut off.
Grounder to short. Rodriguez on the short hop. 2 down.
Now, see, that could have been a double play right there.
Right.
But instead, you give up the run.
Hey, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports app. Download the Fox Sports app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you, made available by Oakland University. I just know outfielders are always looking for the cutoff man. The key play is for an outfielder to hit the cutoff man, wherever that cutoff man may be. And
Well,
Ronnie Rodriguez was lined up toward third, like there was going to be a play at third rather than second. That's the reason I asked the question.
it's a good question. My thought is it goes to second. You've got a right fielder backing up over there. We'll keep our cameras working and we'll see what's going on. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, you know what it's like coaching your kids when they were little. You're always telling, okay, second base, you got to cover that second base. Now steer the shortstop to where he's got to be lined up with the bag. And I doubt that's how it works in the majors. But Ronnie Rodriguez was shifted over to third.
Is it third or home?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Goes back to communication, as we've talked about throughout these broadcasts for a long time. Rosales, the number 9 hitter. 3-1 to him. A lot of pitches for Francisco Lariano here in this frame. He's gotten behind a number of batters already, and that's why Cleveland has been able to push home 2 more. Lost another one. Second walk of the inning. Two pitches by Lariano here in this 4th frame. The Indians roll the lineup over, and here's Rajai Davis. Fouled away. This is the series finale and the season finale. Indians are 34-14 in series finales this season. Davis aggressively 0-2.
So what do you do here if they steal?
You throw through.
Well, he may stop getting a rundown, then you got to get the runner from third.
You're gonna have to make a play.
Yep. Okay, you're throwing through. I'm just telling you, these are decisions that need to be made. They have a sign. They've already directed the infield. It could change. You'll see Griner. He's the guy who gave the sign where he's going with it. You see him come out in front of the plate, they mean he's going to change it.
Davis chased a high fastball. Indians scored twice on just a couple of hits. They now lead at 3-1.
In my view, he had a play at second base looking from up here. That's what I said with the live thing. If you look at right here, what's going to go down. Look where Candy's doing. We'll show it from a different view here in a second. Candy was pointing to second base. So, but it was a mix-up, and with all the shifts and everything, and the new players moving around, it's things that you take notes on, and you hope you can practice every single scenario that you might encounter in a game. That's Gardy told us that.
Right after Kristen Stewart reached the dugout, though, Dave Clark greeted him, gave him a little education, started talking to him about that exact play.
Yeah, they're teaching, no doubt about it. When you come up, you got to learn, you got to understand. Like I said, the pure percentages of staying out of a multiple run inning. Nice leadoff single here. Okay, now let's look at the down the line angle here. Okay, this is going to be a little different look. See Candy right here pointing to second base. Back that up a little bit, we can see it. Just a little further. You see right here?
You can see Griner doing it too.
Yep, look at them all that way. So just a little teaching tool here. Live and learn, and they'll get it.
Which begs this question again: is the shortstop in the wrong position?
Well, I'm not sure where he's supposed to be based upon what their configuration is supposed to be, but I think in the future it'll be different. Can we agree on that?
Sure. I'll buy that.
I don't really. I don't want to talk from a fault standpoint, but I think it could be done differently. And I think, remember Gardy telling us that they hope they can practice every single thing that happens, especially with the shifts. That one will go in the book. Remember the other day when they couldn't get the double players there in the shift? We talked about that one. That's when we discussed that.
It can be the beauty of this game, but also the difficulty of this game. When you're playing every day, you don't get that chance to work on things like that, like you do in football, basketball, or hockey.
Well, in that play, they're going to, the guy's going to go to third. You're not going to get him. You're trying to make the trail guy have to have them get 2 hits to score that guy. You let him go to second, it's 1. That's just kind of a percentage thing. And again, I'm sure we'll talk to him about it. I'm sure they'll work it out.
Yeah, he'll learn. Highly intelligent ball player, Kristen Stewart. One of the many things they like about him.
You get guys on base, and they're running. We show that relativity shot. A lot of things go through your mind.
Reyes with a tapper to second. Tough turn. They only get the 1.
Look at Rosales come up right here. He comes up quick. Watch the second baseman, how quick he goes up in there. But Reyes just too fast to double up. He motors.
Got a nice long gate. Here's Jamer Candelario. Single and scored in the first, struck out swinging in the third. 151st strikeout of the year for Candelario. Indians had a pickoff yesterday. It was Candelario who started the game with a walk and then was promptly picked off and kind of went downhill from there for Detroit in a 15-0 loss. 7 extra base hits by the Tribe yesterday. Candelario strokes one to right center. Good hustle by Brandon Barnes to cut it off. First and second with only 1 down. Celebrate Irish Heritage Night at Comerica Park this Friday, September 21st. That's when the Tigers will take the field against the Royals at 7:10. Purchase a special themed event package that includes game ticket, Detroit Tigers Irish Heritage Night hat, and a donation to the United Irish Societies. For more information, visit tigers.com/Irish. Some Tigers fans making their way over here to Progressive Field.
Not very far.
Nope. Beautiful day. A lot to do in downtown Cleveland, especially last night. It was
jumping.
Yeah, sure was. 10th division title since they went to a Central Division format.
Now Stewie right here, he knows he's been getting breaking balls. 1 for 2 with the single. I really like the way it looks at the plate. He's going to see some breaking balls, fastballs away.
Pokes it to left center. Allen can't get it. They're going to send the runner. Victor Reyes will score. The Tigers have pulled within 1. An RBI single for Kristen Stewart, his first major league run driven in.
Yeah. Outside fastball. He's come up since he's come up. He's been staying on the ball, not trying to be too pull happy. See this ball tailing away. Doesn't pull off it. Up into the left center field gap. And the Tigers get a run. Boom. Was that Ronnie Rodriguez? Or no, that's Victor. Victor Reyes scores.
Yeah. Good for Stewart.
Candy moves to second.
Stewart 2 for 3.
First.
Sits safely in 5 of his 7 games.
Oh, he looks good at the plate. Yeah. I know he's going to hit.
Reached base in all 6 of his starts. We talked about him when we began the broadcast about what he's teaching us. He seems to be learning quickly, Gibby.
Yeah, he's a smart hitter.
Castellanos fouls it away. 0-2. Castellanos 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the third. When I asked him last night, do you stick around and watch the opposition celebrate? He said, I don't. He said, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
So he did not stay in the dugout steps and watch them celebrate their division title.
See Stewie over there first, the trail runner. His responsibility is to try and move up if the guy in front of him does, and you got to make sure you get back if the ball goes by the hitter. Sometimes they like to sneak in there behind you.
Popped foul. Saw Castellanos going over a lot of notes before the game with various coaches right by his locker stall to get back in a groove after having a short day yesterday. 4th in the league in hits, 5th in doubles and multi-hit games, as well as at bats. 568 at bats on the season. That includes the 2 so far today. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Nick Castellanos today. Leaves it up to Jim Adduci.
Yeah, Nick's just not picking him up. It's one of those days. He picks everybody else up. Give it to Ducey to pick his teammate up, huh?
Be nice. He's got 1 RBI so far. He's back in the first on a sacrifice fly to left.
Breaking ball.
Tapped it foul.
Remember, Ducey hit the first pitch fastball last at bat. So I was sitting curveball there. Looked like Ducey was too, but the ball broke down a little too low. I hope those hang high in the zone.
Grounded to third his last time up. Oh, and 2. The shutout by the Indians last night was their 16th of the year, most in the American League.
Tigers have been, what is it, 17 times?
That's most in baseball.
Indians, on the other hand, to the good.
Adduci sends one deep to left, way back, and gone. A 3-run shot for Jim Adduci, and the Tigers are back in front.
Ball's really jumping that way. We saw one earlier, Kristen Stewart. And Adduci, the big fly.
Third homer of the year
Is that your
for
guy?
Adduci. That is my guy.
That was a good pick.
Not bad for the guy who chose last.
That's how it works out sometimes. He stayed on that. Stewie hit the ball that way. Adduci, you can see right off the sweet spot of the bat. It just carries on out of here. Tigers take the lead 5-3. You know, the Tigers really want to beat these Indians because the Indians have really owned them. They really want to beat them here in Progressive Field. Win that series.
They've not beaten them in a series since April of 2017. 11th home run allowed by Shane Bieber. Mikey Matuk now in an 0-2 hole with 2 down here in the 5th.
get some more. Got real quiet here, didn't it?
Sure did.
Tigers coming out of nowhere, answering with 3 runs, 4 runs in the 5th.
Ducey with more RBIs in this game alone against Cleveland than he's had in his career against the Tribe.
Don't know who's available for Cleveland. Sure they wanted to see
Matuk goes the other way to keep the inning alive.
Yeah. Good approach right there. Stewie went the other way. Ducey went the other way, and Mikey follows. Not rolling over, not swinging at bad pitches. There's the at bat. Look at down, 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 and try and sneak one by him. Mikey just serves it the other way. Look at Bieber yelling into his glove. See that? Trying to cover it up a little bit, I guess. Huh?
Frustration.
Would you be a yeller if you were a pitcher, you think?
Yes.
Darn it!
I don't know if I'd be a thrower. You know what I mean? When you get to the dugout and guys start knocking over water coolers, throwing their gloves, I don't think I'd do that.
Well, maybe initially in your early in your career, maybe you'd learn. It took me a while. I don't know why I thought it was the helmet and the bat's fault, but didn't make sense. I finally figured it out.
Maybe because both were free.
No, had nothing to do with free. Had to do with frustration.
Grayson Griner had a solid base hit last time up. Matuk tries to steal and does. Swipe second base. 4th steal of the year for Mikey Matuk.
Attaboy Mikey, keeping the pressure on. Again, they have something off of Bieber. He's off well. Also, they know the catcher and his pop times. They've got them all written down. How long it takes the pitcher, how long it takes the catcher. 2 outs, you got a 2-run lead. Why not do it? Now you got a man on second. You increase your probability of scoring by probably 20%.
Griner lifts one to center. Allen chasing it. Still going back and making the grab on the warning track. But the Tigers plate 4-3 courtesy of Jim Ducey's 3-run homer. And they're in front by 2 in the 5th. by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awards and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. With two-time World Series champ Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. Our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew here in Cleveland. The Tigers and Indians wrapping up this 3-game weekend series and wrapping up the season series. Jim Ducey is responsible for 4 of the Tigers' 5 runs today. A sacrifice fly and then a 3-run homer to push Detroit back in front. Helps Francisco Liriano.
Yeah, Francisco's got to come back here and have a shutdown inning. That's the way you hope the design works.
Needs to throw a few more strikes, but that's been his issue all season. Percentage of pitch for strikes today, 57%.
Really, his career, that's been the way he pitches. He's pretty good at wiggling out of situations. Recently, he's had better control.
Allen with a grounder to third and a nice play by Candelario. Impressive.
Nice. Now watch when he catches this. The thing is to get that shoulder close and get it lined up so you can go to first base. Watch it. Watch this. He catches it, takes a step. Look how he gets that shoulder around. It's closed. That's perfect. Make a good, strong, straight throw over to the first bag. And they get the out.
Liriano has had Josh Donaldson's number. Couple of strikeouts, now a pop up in foul territory, and Ducey reaches over and makes a nice grab.
The fan wanted it. We've got Ducey ISO'd right here. First baseman's doing a lot of things. Remember, we were talking about the second most important. Look, he's got to go the other way. He's got a little sun there. Got a fan to deal with. I got it.
Credit to the fan for not interfering.
Well, I think he tried, but Ducey really got over there quickly and got position on him.
Liriano's really made Indians hitters move their feet, especially right-handed hitters. Yandy Diaz, there's a reason for that. He's 2 for 2. An RBI single in the first, a double and a run scored in the fourth.
Two quick outs. Got to get the third right here.
Down the right field line, and Ducey can't make that play.
Didn't see it. See that? He's looking right into the sun. In fact, if you look at it, that ball, the sun was not out right as the ball was hit. It came out and went right in his eyes.
It does beg this question: where are the sunglasses?
Well, he wouldn't have had time to flip them down here. Look at, see, look, it came right out, real bright right there. Well, your flip downs, that'd have been a tough one. I don't know if they would have helped, but.
Yeah, but the flip downs are when you played. They have the.
They work.
Yeah, they sure do. To short. And a 7-pitch inning for Francisco Liriano after his team gave him a 5-3 lead in their half. this important for this team, do you think? I mean,
Well,
to win a series like this against this good of a ball club?
I think it is, and it's certainly something that this coaching staff is going to sell to the team. You want them to be upbeat. You want them to be playing for things. You know, when I talk here on TV, I feel like it's a first pitch ground ball. I feel like I'm OCD for details in baseball, but it's just the way I feel about the game, and you can't give in to, oh, there's 13 games left, let's play it out. You've got a lot of things that you can accomplish. You want them to know the expectation. You want them to continue to work on it, because you're going to be that much further ahead next year when you show up, and it's not an easy thing. So I'm going to chill out for the rest of the game and see what happens. How's that?
How important was Liriano's quick inning, very efficient inning after his team gave him the lead back?
Yeah, you want to have the shutdown inning. That's a component of how you win more games than you lose. There's no question about it. You come out and walk the leadoff guy, it's terrible. That's not a good component. And he did a heck of a job right there. No question about it. 3 up, 3 down. Tigers are back where they want to be, and that's trying to score some runs.
Rodriguez punches it to right. And a catch made on the run by Brandon Barnes.
But I am making some notes over here. Just trying to help out, you know.
We'll do more than that. There's Liriano. He's got another inning at least left in him, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just the 5th pitch of the inning there for Bieber here in the 6th. Reyes to center. Allen barely had to move. That was fast. A bounce back inning for the Cleveland starter. Times he's put the Indians down in order. They'll try to do again with Brandon Geyer, the designated hitter, Brandon Barnes, and Eric Haas. Geyer turns on one, but yanked it foul. Got all of it.
Yeah, Liriano has been starting Cleveland off inside, and Geyer tried to jump him.
Indians played at 2 in the 4th. That's when Liriano threw 26 pitches. Bounced back with 7 last frame.
You can see why he throws him inside. Geyer kind of comes around the ball, so it's going to be hard for him to keep a ball on the inside part of the plate fair. that also sets up the changeup from Liriano.
Geyer 1 for 3 in the series with a couple of walks and a run scored. Hit him.
Well, he didn't even try and move. He was diving, matter of fact. That's why he's throwing him inside. Diving, stepping right across the plate.
That hurts, especially when you're ahead in the count.
Yeah. Pitch count by inning. 26 in the 4th. Really good in the 5th, and 3 so far here in the 6th. Up to 75.
Here's Brandon Barnes, the right fielder who's 0 for 2, struck out looking last time up.
Liriano, 107 pitches is high. He did that in 6 innings way back in July. Pretty much in the 80s. See if Gardy doesn't have a quick hook today.
He's thrown 77 so far today. 44 strikes, 33 balls. That is a tough way to navigate lineups, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 innings last outing, 85 pitches. 5 innings the time for that, 89 pitches.
He gave up 3 runs, but all of them unearned.
Looks like Gardy's going to try and get him through, but I would think, well, we got action out there. I would think that he would start to think about coming to the end of the line for Liriano.
He has forced 15 ground ball double plays. Would love one here. 2-2. Drew Verhagen warming up. Barnes most of the year in AAA Columbus, where he batted .273 in 132 games. Wide of third.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch, 94 today. Still rushes up there pretty good. You got some innings on his arm. Low of 84, it looked like.
Andrew Miller busy in the Cleveland bullpen.
They're trying to get him in shape, aren't they?
Yeah, he will be so important for their playoff run. Big strikeout for Liriano there of Barnes. And that'll bring up Eric Haas.
Throwing that fastball inside, comes with something off speed out in front. On the outside part of the plate.
Haas with a double back in the 4th on a 1 for 2 day. To third. Candelario. And they twisted it. What a perfect time to get your 16th ground ball double play pitch. Francisco Liriano works his way through 6, and the Tigers lead 5-3.
In the bottom of the first, Diaz an RBI single to tie it at 1-1 after the Tigers had went out, and then a RBI single by the Indians make it 2-1. Tigers ended up getting down 3-1. And then Jim Aducey with the big opposite field 3-run home run puts the Tigers up by 3. And Liriano has shut them down and has done a good job through 6 innings. We'll see how much farther he goes. Andrew Miller's on the mound for the Tribe.
Wallside Windows pitching changed his 31st appearance. You get him back into a groove of a couple of years ago, and this team becomes even more dangerous than it already is.
Yeah, they're trying to, and his purpose today is to get more than 1 inning out of Andrew Miller, is my guess. Even if it's 1 1/3, it's that down up. You bring a guy in, Miller, you get 1 in, you get one out, then he sits down, then he comes back for an inning. That's you just don't do that. You have to be ready to do that, and that's what Tito's trying to do.
Faces the top of the Tigers lineup: Candelario, Stewart, and Castellanos here in the 7th.
Below 92, but he normally throws a little harder than that. So they're trying to build arm strength as well. .95 right there, so he's getting up there.
Candelario's had a day, huh? A couple of singles, couple of runs scored.
Candy and Aducey both.
Wide at first, nice play by Diaz, and he'll take it himself. Let's go to Mickey York for a game break.
The batter now for the Tribe, number 14, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to play him, Mick. I think they're really good. I think they're a tough team. They're a scrappy team, and they find a way. People forget they got 90 wins, man. I mean, that's a lot at this time of the year,
with plenty of games to go.
Yeah. And we talk about Cleveland, and for good reason. They've got 83 knockouts. It depends on, I suppose, what statistics you look at, but run differential, they've got a plus 109. They've won 7 of their last 10. Team playing well, and have played well all year long. Here's Nick Castellanos. Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it away. Castellanos 10th in the league in road batting average at 300 coming in. A couple of strikeouts today in an 0 for 3 day so far. Fooled them, and it's 1-2.
Time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. Some data right here. Where do you play them? There you have it. You can figure that out, right?
To third. Donaldson on the run. Andrew Miller looked good in his first inning here on Sunday. Coming up, it's the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
really throwing a pretty good game so far, keeping the Indians off balance. He's got the changeup working. It's really pounded hard down and into the Indians to get them thinking about that. Leaves them susceptible to the ball outside. Even though he struggled a little bit with his command, only walked 2 today so far, 7 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched, 3 runs. And he's coming out for more. He wants through 6 innings. He's looking for 7.
Found himself a little bit of a groove. 65 pitches through the first 4 innings for Francisco Liriano. Just 17 pitches the last 2. Sports fans, you won't want to miss the 2018 Michigan Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony Friday, September 28th at the Soundboard at Motor City Casino. Join us as we celebrate Detroit native and former NBAer B.J. Armstrong, former Michigan State running back T.J. Duckett, and many others. Tickets start at just $25. For tickets and information, visit mshof.org. Kirk Gibson has told us many times throughout our broadcast that 14-15 pitches per inning for a starter is what you're hoping for. Francisco Liriano is just a shade under 14 per inning in this game today.
82 pitches through 6. So illegally, by that measuring device, he could be 90. But he's underneath. And, you know, sometimes you wonder, you know, some pitchers, they have such good stuff, it moves so much, it's hard to control.
Yeah.
I think others, and Liriano's a veteran guy, so the creative wildness is by intent as well. You don't, they don't want to just be where you can just snuggle into the batter's box, feel comfortable.
Yeah, there are purpose pitches, right? Moving the feet. You've talked already a number of times today about moving the feet.
He's done that 5 times today at least, where the guy's way inside.
Sounded like a broken back grounder to short. Nice scoop by Adduci. Fan Appreciation Weekend returns to Comerica Park when the Tigers host the Royals September 21st through the 23rd. Select fans will win special prizes throughout the weekend, including game-worn jerseys from Tigers players on Sunday. For tickets and more information, visit tigers.com.
Take a look. Since May 20th, 6 1/3 innings today. It's the most he's pitched. That was against Seattle, where he went 8 innings.
This is Adam Rosales. Walked his last time up. (2-0). Or Rosales has played with a lot of teams: the Reds, A's, Rangers, Padres, Diamondbacks, and Phillies organizations.
Loves the game. You know, here's a guy who's been up and down. He's a very good player. Knows how to play. Plays the right way. He's got a lot of energy.
Have to love it. If at age 34, 35, you're going to go through the minors as long as he has.
But it's, you know, if you love the game, it's a good game. You can help teach people back. You can get in an organization. You can progress from there into a different role in baseball.
Scalded to third. What a play by Candelario. And an accurate throw. Another nice dig by Adduci.
Good job by Candy right here. Takes a little drop step. Gets that backhand. Again, it gets that shoulder close so the ball does not run. True, and Adduci, good catch. Watch him, good drop step. Kind of goes with the bad hop. Secures the ball with a good throw over.
Top of the order for Rajai Davis. Davis yet to collect a hit in the series. 0 for 5. Couple of strikeouts today. Fouled it back. 3-1.
Got to come back and get him. Don't want to put anybody on base.
Don't want the tying run at the plate either.
Oh no, so you're in the 7th inning. You want to keep every run you can.
This will help.
3 ground balls.
Just the 3rd time Francisco Liriano has made it through 7. Tigers still lead it by 2. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Madusi, the big fly, big 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Looked like Cleveland was going to take control of this game, but the Tigers rallied for 3 after scoring 1 in the 1st. Gave them 5 runs and scored 4 in the 5th. Tribe 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 4th, and the Tigers lead 5-3 as we go to the top of the 8th.
Andrew Miller, when healthy a year ago, dominant. 49 scoreless outings and 57 appearances for the Indians last year. Ducey sends one to center. It chases Greg Allen, but he's got plenty of room. 1 down. Families affected by Hurricane Florence urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org or text Florence to 90999 to give $10 to Red Cross Hurricane Relief.
And look at Andrew Miller. A lot of games. This is 31st game this year. 57 last year, 70 the year before.
Yeah, the year before he was an all-star. But just 11 appearances last year from August 2nd through the end of the year because of a right knee issue.
Well, as much as he's been thrown, and you're going to get beat up, you start to get older, things start to show up. It's just the way it is. But as a player, people ask me, would you do it any differently? I wouldn't. As far as sacrificing when you know maybe you shouldn't push yourself. Do you think it'd be worth it?
I do. I don't think you can really think of it that way while you're in the moment.
Well, you got a bad knee. You can play through it.
Right.
You can play through it. It's painful. You're probably going to do more damage to it, so you may pay for it more later. But you're got a chance to get in the playoffs and get to the World Series. So you do make decisions. There are players that err on the safe side.
How many surgeries did you have on your knees?
At least 5 probably in that area. You got hamstrings, you got tendons, you got knee, you got cartilage. You have the tendons, shoulders, neck, wrist, a few.
Put you on your backswing now?
My backswing's been bad anyway. But you know, you take anti-inflammatories to try and cut down on the inflammation and the pain. They don't inject as much, I don't think, as they used to. Something hurts, you get an injection, which it makes the pain go away. But when you do that, it creates a scar. So maybe you tweak your hammy a little bit so they give you an injection. It feels better, quicker, but there's a scar in there, and the scars aren't real flexible. So then you maybe end up doing something else, is what happened to me in 1988.
Matuk sends it deep. Hooking. Foul.
Fair ball.
No, fair ball. A home run from Mikey Matuk. His 8th of the year. Just inside the foul pole, and the Tigers have now doubled up the Indians 6-3. And that'll be it for Andrew Miller. Big game from Mikey Matuk on this Sunday. Detroit has lengthened their lead on Fox Sports Detroit.
Inside the foul pole. The Indians are not going to dispute that. Look for it. It looked like it was fair here, just inside. Mark Wegner said it was fair. Andrew Miller not getting the swings and misses since he's come back, especially on the slider. That was his baby, right? 18 pitches a day, sliders, 1 swing and miss.
That was at one point, that was one of the best pitches in all of baseball.
Nasty, yeah.
John Edwards is the new pitcher for Cleveland. I think that's fair to say, don't you? I mean, some pitchers are defined by a certain pitch. Obviously, the cutter by one of the greatest closers, maybe the greatest closers of all time, Mariano Rivera. But I would say it was that pitch for Andrew Miller, don't you think? The slider?
Well, the slider, I mean, he had good velocity on his fastball as well. He can elevate that. But I think his slider was the pitch that really helped him out. And then he was a starter. Then they started moving him to the bullpen.
Right.
So, you know, he had velocity, but when pitchers start, their velocity drops. Just the way it is. Any season, pretty much it does. So when they moved him to the bullpen, he picked up his velocity. And he picked up that sharpness on that slider.
And remember, Jack Morris with a split finger. That was his defining pitch. Ram picked the stick update. A big day for Jim Ducey because of that 3-run homer. Gibby, you got to get Nick Castellanos in gear a little bit.
Well, hey.
But everyone else has got a positive number.
Yeah, I'm going the wrong direction for sure. Treading water.
Lugo off the end of the bat, took a wild hop. But Mikey Matuk extends the Tigers' lead here in the 8th. A solo shot to left just inside the pole for his 8th of the year.
Jim Ducey, we've been taping him, we've been ISOing him. What the first baseman does here, he's going in to get the pop fly. Playing hard, he called him off. Going to his left right here into the stands. Got to deal with that part right there. Just see the ISO, you got to cover the bag. Sometimes you're off the bag. First baseman's got a lot of responsibilities and very active position over there. Ducey's had a great day, the big 3-run home run. Made every play today. He's got his cheat sheet out. Somebody's got their cheat sheet out. And that's what the Tigers provide for all the players. Give them clues of what they're going to do. We got a new pitcher. Wall side windows pitching change is Joe Jimenez. 65th game for Big Joe. He's been throwing the ball fairly well lately. And Ducey, looking at that, he's got different places to play against different pitchers. Valuable information there. It's one of the upgrades that the Tigers have been doing since Al Avila came in with his analytical team. We want to make sure everybody knows what to do based upon the information. It's been working as the Tigers' defensive run saved has trended way up this year.
Joe Jimenez with his 2nd appearance of the series. He faces Greg Allen, who turns around and bats from the left side. A much better hitter as a lefty than a righty. 256 from the left side, 167 from the right. Doubled and scored back in the 1st. A liner to 2nd and a grounder to 3rd his last 2 times up.
Last 2 innings pretty tough to get. It used to be the toughest inning was the 5th inning, because that's what all the pitchers, you know, that's where you get decision. Get that 5th inning. It seems like it's tougher and tougher later as he gets Allen looking
Wasn't tough for Joe Jimenez here to start the 8th. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Beautiful day in Cleveland to wrap up the season series and the 3-game set on this September weekend. Nice play by Ronnie Rodriguez, ranging to his left. 2 quick outs for Joe Jimenez in the 8th.
Ronnie looks better, doesn't he?
He does. Have to be encouraged with what Francisco Liriano did today, too.
Yep. Well, he's pitched a beauty of a game.
Sure did.
But he's had better defense behind him, too. And to be fair to some of the Tiger pitchers, we had some hiccups recently. That's why you continue to play the young kids. You know, they sort it out a little bit, start to get used to the field, the surface, and the mistakes that they make. They talk about it, and they're able to make mental corrections. So they slow their game down, and well, that was right there. Slow the game down and make the plays.
That allowed Liriano to throw just 29 pitches in his last 3 innings. Indians have gone without a hit since the 4th. Diaz pops it. Foul territory, and that'll reach the seats. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. The Twins are in town for the first of 3 tomorrow. It'll be Jordan Zimmerman, Daniel Norris, and then the Major League Baseball debut starting wise for Spencer Turnbull. And 23 starts in the minors this year for the Tigers, and did appear Friday night in the series opener here in Cleveland and got the lineup 1, 2, 3.
Grand opportunity, isn't it? You finished out, moved up quickly to AA, a little sniff of AAA, and you're in the big leagues. Not only in the big leagues, you're starting a game in the big leagues, so it's a great opportunity to make a good impression. Tigers major league staff and the organization evaluating all these players here.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Don Kelly a little bit before today's game about some of the younger players. Don Kelly, now a scout in the organization, looking at all the AA and AAA talent in some various markets. That includes Cleveland, Pittsburgh, the Mets, and some others. And of course, looking at the Tigers AA and AAA talent. Diaz fouls it away again. It remains 3 and 2.
Yeah, you got guys like Donnie in the organization, and they're evaluating your talent, and they're also going through on a kind of a roving basis. They have roving instructors, hitting instructors, base running instructors, fielding instructors. Tram's an assistant to the general manager. He kind of does it all. And he puts a tremendous amount of time in there. And they all share their information with Al and the staff.
Clean play by Rodriguez and a clean inning for Joe Jimenez in the 8th. It's not the whole reason they lost 15-0, but it sure didn't help the cause. And then today, a clean defensive showing by the Tigers. Good point, Simo.
Yeah, and as we were just talking about it, I think that it kind of slowed it down. Just made sure they've caught the ball first, and the rest is falling in place.
Yeah, what have you said? I mean, make the simple plays. If you're going to make some dazzling plays, great, but you got to make sure you get the ones that are hit at you or close to you. Make the plays you're supposed to make.
Well, it's just like hitting. The guys come in, they hit the ball off the tee, then they do flips, then they do coach's BP, then they do game. And you try and carry the early work off the tee and the coach flips and the coach pitching into a game. Same way with your fielding. You go in, you get ready, you get loose. They come out, they do rollouts, they do fungos, they do batting practice, and then they go to take it to the game. And the reality of it is, internally, sometimes when you get in a game, it changes and the game gets a little quick for you. You're relaxed in BP, so you got to learn how to take that approach into the game.
Ronnie Rodriguez, a single for 3. Adam Plutko, the new Indians pitcher. Third reliever, fourth pitcher of the day for Cleveland. Fly ball to left. Davis makes it 1 out.
Just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite whole true moment. Mikey in his last at bat got a hold of one. Was it going to be fair? High and deep. And it was fair. I think Mikey added a spare run for the Tigers. Lead 6-3. Boy, he's swung a good bat since he's come up from Toledo. Really playing free and easy. Good at all 3 outfield spots.
I enjoy our conversations with Mikey Montic. He's a really good guy. He loves the game of baseball. Has not been in. We were talking about the difficult year for Michael Fulmer earlier in the broadcast. Well, it hasn't been an easy year for Mikey Montic, especially after what he did last year, being sent down a couple of times to Toledo. That can injure your pride, but instead of sagging the shoulders and thinking woe is me and making excuses, he went to work, and you root for guys like that.
Yeah, it's disappointing when you're in a big club and then you have to get sent down.
Reyes goes the other way. 2 straight outs from Rajay Davis to start the ninth. Follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Still looking for another insurance run here.
Double-digit hits for the Tigers for the second time in the series.
The other day, the first game the Tigers won of the series, they added one late, and Cleveland came back, scored a couple, threatened to tie the game. Always looking to tack on, especially against a good team like the Indians.
Candelario with his 28th multi-hit game of the year today, with a couple of singles, and his 5th in the last 10.
He's really feeling good about himself. I looked at his monthly progression. He had a good April, decent May, and then June was tough on him. July was tough. August he started to stable off. He's having a really good September. Obviously you want to try and hold that through the full season.
Sometimes it'll tell you more about a player's character when they go through those ruts and how they bounce back.
Yep, well he stayed true to it. 19 home run, 53 RBI. Not bad. He can do better. He knows it. And there's another knock.
Third base hit of the day for Jeimer Candelario.
The Tigers is still 2 times on the first pitch. Will they try another? There's the at bat. Looks like sliders down. Went down there again. Didn't try and pull it. Just went right up the middle. When you try and pull it, you just get yourself out because a lot of times they're shifted over there. There's more guys over there. When you roll it, it just doesn't do a lot for you. You just don't get a lot of hits.
That's the 6th 3-hit game of the year for Jeimer Candelario.
Stewie, keep the line moving and give Nick a chance.
Kristen Stewart's had a couple of base knocks that included his first major league RBI, an RBI single back in the 5th, and his first multi-hit game of his major league career.
Looking for that first home run, isn't he?
He is.
About time.
Hit 25 in the minors this year, 23 at Toledo. Instead, threw the hole on the right side. See if Candelario tests the arm in right from Brandon Barnes, but he won't. First and second with 2 down.
That'll leave it up to Nick. Really, the only guy that has not picked up the pitches good today, Stewie. Feeling good. He's been going the other way. Pulls this one through the hole. That's smart.
Well, there's only been 2 hitters in the Tigers lineup today without a hit. Castellanos and Victor Reyes. But Reyes scored back in the 5th. Castellanos 0 for 4 with a couple of Ks.
Oh, you saw that hanger and really went after it. Smiling about it. Nick's got a easy demeanor. You know, he doesn't really, he tries not to ride that roller coaster. That's hard to do. A lot of players, they do that. He's going to get another one here. Watch.
Low, and it's 1-1.
Looks like a knuckle curve. Might be a guy that you could relay a sign to from second base. You look at his glove.
I did not.
Got that knuckle up there like that. Candy could see it.
How do you relay signs from second base? Touch of the helmet? Is it similar to a wide receiver telling his quarterback what route he's going to run?
Yeah, maybe you look one way, look the other, look down, look up, move one foot a certain way. Maybe you squat down, maybe you stand up. There's a lot of different ways.
Opposite way. Barnes giving chase. Runs out of room. It's foul, and it's 2-2.
You know, many times, even if you're not doing it, you act like you are. Because a lot of players don't want the signs.
Why not?
Because
you're wrong?
Well, that's one of the reasons. You can be wrong, but after a while, you know who the good ones are and who the ones that struggle are. And they're better hitters than, like, say, a guy like me. I'd like the information.
Another foul back. 22 pitches now in the inning for Adam Plutko.
Would you want the signs, you think?
I don't think I would.
So right now, you wouldn't want to know if it was a breaking ball or a fastball?
Well, I'd want to know that, but I don't know if I could trust a teammate to make sure you've got the right sign.
You know,
I'd like to trust myself.
You know what ones you can trust.
Third strikeout of the day for Castellanos. Tigers head to the 9th. Shane Green will try and slam the door. And really diverse numbers for the Tigers pitching staff from yesterday. We'll explain when we come back. will try and close it out. Tigers pitchers yesterday used a season-tying high 201 pitches through 8 innings. Almost half as many today through 8. That helps.
You enjoy that? Much cleaner game?
Much cleaner.
But it wasn't really all the pitcher's fault.
No.
It was just a sloppy game. That'll bring in Shane Green. Greeny 29 for 35 in save opportunities. Has struggled a bit lately, but got the job done Friday night here in Cleveland. Did give up a couple of runs, but
what's the most important statistic to look at for a closer?
well, I mean, out of those right there,
Yeah.
I think the walks, because I think command. But it does vary with different closers. There's different types.
Brandon Geyer greets him with a first pitch single to left.
Yeah, this is a slider. I think one of the things, Greeny, slider is not as sharp as it was before. I think he's gotten away from the sinker. He's got such an electric arm. That's they're just sitting right there down the middle. The slider's a little flat right now. I'd like to see him go to that sinker. Just keep it down. He's got great movement on it. And he's been very frustrated with just the breaks that he's been catching or not catching.
Brandon Barnes stands in.
There's a sinker right there. Good pitch. Didn't get the swing though. If he does, he gets the ground ball.
Barnes 0 for 4 in the series against the Tigers this weekend. 1-1 to him. Hey folks, the Twins come to town tomorrow evening. Join us for all of your game coverage, beginning with Tigers Live at 6. That's Tigers and Twins tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here on your home for Tigers baseball, Fox Sports Detroit.
I think it'll be Jack and Danny tomorrow.
And Dickerson and Jack Morris with you on the call. And I'll be back with you on Tuesday. 1-1 pitch, cued foul.
Much more break to that breaking ball right there. But again, I like the sinker right here. You can almost throw it right down the middle. Tigers have their defensive linemen, and if you need to have anybody move, you move them. Just keep it down.
Back up the middle, through the hole. Indians with the first 2 runners on here in the ninth.
Again, this is a slider. It was off the plate, but it was up. Almost like they can, I don't know if he's tipping that pitch or what, but they really get good swings at it.
Ninth inning jam for Shane Green. First 2 hits, or first hit since Eric Haas had a double back in the 4th for Cleveland, and Haas now stands in.
Looking for a grounder, aren't they?
Yeah. The Livonia native on a 1 for 3 day so far. Haas went to Divine Child, won a couple of state championships there. Was an all-state first choice selection. And his senior year was Mr. Baseball in the state of Michigan. Fisted to first. Adducey will take the simple play for 1 down.
Got in that kitchen there. You're going to see it. The Ducey's got to come in and get it. Get 1 out. Tying run is at the plate, though, so you got to worry about that.
Eric Gonzalez does have 1 homer on the year.
Again, I think that the sliders has not been as consistent through Greeny as he has in the past. Where he throws it good. It's a swing and miss pitch, but when he hangs it, it's the one that's been traveling lately.
Gonzalez has grounded to short the last 2 times up.
I'm going to go back and look. But I think he used to throw more two-seamers a couple years ago. Shane Green.
Gonzalez fisted foul.
Good sinker right there, 94. Got good life in that fastball as well.
Last 26 games for Eric Gonzalez, batting almost 300 coming into the game today. 295. But behind in the count to Shane Green, 1-2. Big strikeout.
Well, this is a good pitch. It works out. Overhung it, and Gonzalez waiting for it to come down. Never really broke down. Already got away with it there. We got 2 down. You see the sliders. Gonzalez doesn't like them very much, does he?
Leaves it up to Adam Rosales, the number 9 hitter.
Outfielders are deep. Going to stop all doubles.
Through the right side for a base knock. 1 run is home. They're going to hold the runner at third. And the Indians have pulled to within 2. First hit of the year for the Indians from Adam Rosales.
Good job right here with Nick. Just comes up and hits that cutoff man solid. Definitely don't want to let Rosales get the second. That'll bring to the top of the order to Raji Davis.
It's been either a strikeout or a grounder to short for Davis today. He is the winning run. Pop-up on the infield. Rodriguez and the Tigers win their first series here in Cleveland against the Tribe since April 14th through the 16th of a year ago. 6-4 the final. Detroit will take it and head home for their last home series, 2 of them, of the year. Let's send it to the Coliseum studio. Mickey York and Craig Monroe standing by for Tigers Live postgame.